Welcome back. It's like part 3 of this video, also focusing on alligator snapping turtles, and we refilling this. So, as I have said in previous videos, this is an alligator snapping turtle enclosure. It's got paper sand as substrate on the bottom, and what I'm doing right now is I'm rinsing all of this. I'm running water over this just to clear some of that detritus out, clear out some of the dirty water, but I don't want to empty this completely. I don't want to scour all the sand out of here, and I don't want to lose all that biological activity that's going on. But what I wanted to really show on here is all the driftwood, right? So this is a 300-gallon Rubbermaid stock tank that I keep about 2/3 of the way full most of the time, and I've got this chock full of all kinds of driftwood. A lot of this is Mopani driftwood that is very dense and will sink as soon as you get it. Other pieces are actual trees, branches that I've salvaged from the wild and cleaned up and everything, and basically let them turn into driftwood so they get waterlogged and they sink. And this is something that alligator snapping turtles absolutely love. Especially, I want to point out, I work with alligator snapping turtles that are primarily the western, from the western part of their range. They're the western alligator snapping turtle. They're the Taminkii nominate form, right? Now we have all sorts of discrepancies these days about, what are the different recognized alligator snapping turtles. At one point there were 3 separate species, the western, the Apalachicola, and the Suwannee. Then the Apalachicola was downgraded to a subspecies, and then even downgraded even further to just a geographic variation. But that's according to different scientists, and there's a whole lot of discrepancy about that. But suffice to say, I work with western alligator snapping turtles. For the most part, as far as I know, right? They're all captive bred. Most of them originate from John Richards here in Missouri, Loggerhead Acres Turtle Farm. And there's a couple others that are from other sources that are much older. So it's a little ambiguous as to what their actual origins are. But regardless, western alligator snapping turtles, these are bayou species, right? And they live in river systems too, but they like soft bottoms. They love log jams, tons of debris and detritus, and wooden structures in their water. So it's good to mimic that as much as you can. They really benefit from that. They benefit from the sand, from the tannins in the driftwood. Even leaves. I'm going to add some magnolia leaves to this as we fill this, to really just add that tannic acid in there, condition the water. It's what the turtles really love. It's what they need, right? Think about an alligator snapping turtle much like a mata-mata. Mata-matas are known to require black water, very tannic water. Alligator snapping turtles are a very similar species in their habitats. So they need similar requirements, and you can't just shove them in an aquarium like a goldfish and think that they're going to do well. They need a specialized habitat. So let's meet the guy that we're going to put in here. Okay, so this is Mick, and he is the juvenile alligator snapping turtle that we're going to put in that pond that we're getting ready. He's got a little bit of algae on him. He's got a little bit of a greenish tint to him, but you can see, as we saw in those smaller guys, he's got that great rugosity to the shell, just beautiful growth on the shell. You can see his plaster on there, very dark, like what you would see in a wild alligator snapping turtle. He's also not too heavy, right? He's got good weight on him, but he's not obese, right? And you can see he's demonstrating a little bit there. He's got his mouth open, but he's also a pretty chill dude, and he, you know, he's pretty quiet most of the time. He's not like some of the others that are, you know, really cantankerous. Just a beautiful, beautiful juvenile, and he's going to be 7 years old this fall. So he was born in October of 2019, and he has grown pretty quickly, but I would say not too fast. His growth has been very even and consistent, just pretty fast. Good growth, and you know, fed a good diet, but not overfed. But they can grow, you know, fairly quickly. But he's still a very young animal, right? He's still a very small animal by comparison. He's, I don't know, maybe, I want to say maybe 20 pounds. So not huge, but I don't want to stress him out too much. I want to give him a nice little look-see, make sure he's okay, and then we'll get him into that pond and we can check him out while he's in there. All right, buddy. He's going right in here. And there he is, waiting for the water to fill. If you check out his shell here, we can see him a little bit better while I'm not holding him. One of the things I want to point out, I do believe he is a male. He has a very square, almost rectangular shell shape that flares out towards the rear. So you can see the rear marginals are the widest part of his shell. And, you know, still a very young animal, so still very hard to tell exactly, you know, if they're male or female at this age. It's hard to sex these guys, at least it is for me. But I do believe that he is a male. And, you know, those females tend to have that much more rounded, more oval shape to the shell, even as juveniles. But we're going to let his pond fill up. Again, this is going to be temporary. You can see he's pretty big relative to this stock tank. It should still be pretty comfortable for him in here. It's not too small. He's got lots of cover, and we're going to fill this, you know, about 2/3 of the way, so I have about 200 gallons in here. But this will be temporary while we excavate that area and expand this whole pond, and perhaps essentially double its size. So stay tuned for it. That'll be an adventure. Yeah.